Unfiltered is officially live and in the raw. This is what it's going to be all about in the very beginning stages of the moment that I've been talking about. So, Bennie Unfiltered, Wednesday mornings, 10 o'clock Eastern Central Time is usually when we're on. We still will continue with that, but we got some more fun to add to it. Guests. And not just guests, but the guest herself, the first one to be on the show, my most special and beautiful and loving whole wide world person. Where's my wife? Haha. This is Unfiltered. Where's Britney Spears? Just kidding.
The one that gave birth to you.
Yes. This is the unfiltered part, guys. Let's always remember to be yourself, have your integrity, have your character, and don't forget why you're doing this stuff. And it's about learning and becoming a better you. So here we go. That special person, again. And it's something 5 in the morning, maybe, Eastern Central Time. This is my mother, right here. She gave birth to me April 25th, I'm not going to say the rest. And I was her first out of 6. She has 4 boys, 2 girls, and her boys were the angels, and her girls kept her right for her life.
What was that again? Let me hear that
I hope
one more
you
time.
can't hear these things in your headphones.
I think you've got that twisted.
Okay, we're going to keep it real like I said we always would. But this is the In the Raw, Unfiltered Benny show.
What is it? They always say that boys are easier to raise than girls. I laugh at that.
I remember the things we used to have in the house. Boys are made out of dog, whatever, tails, and girls are made out of
sugar and
spice,
sweet.
yeah, and everything.
Everything nice.
That'll get a guy in trouble. Anyways, where's my wife? No, just kidding. Here's the deal. I'm sitting with my mother, who had 6 children. I'm the oldest out of the 6, 4 boys, 2 girls, and the boys gave her a run for her money.
They did.
I remember a couple years ago I called her up because I had a awakening about parenting. And I called her and said, Mom, I'm sorry. Because there was a lot of nights, and I'll speak of myself, and I won't add all my siblings in it. I'll only be accountable for me. But I gave my mother a run for what she didn't have as far as money went for a long time too, because she was a single mother for off and on most of our lives. But we also had good the word I'm really looking for is mentors, and good people around us. We really did. Even the ones that were a little crazy or something weren't really all that bad. They were just different or whatnot. But my mom is an amazing woman who also has had her journey. She is also an entrepreneur of her own. She self-made herself to become something that she loves doing, and she's naturally talented with it, and that's interior design. Not decorator, designer. That was taught to me at a very early stage when she was going to school and doing her homework at the kitchen table while the dinner might be cooking, or we're running around with our heads chopped off trying to get ready for football or whatnot. She had to do the juggling act as a full-time mom and sometimes had to work late nights being a waitress even, and I used to have to go meet her and walk her home after her shifts. My mom did a little bit of everything, and we'll share some of that on the show. But my mother is an amazing person who has an unbelievable story of her life, which is something that's so cool about the show and what it's going to be like, because the people that are going to be on here are going to have no shame in their game, really, to talk about the personal things of their journey, because it's what's made them who they are, and it also made them strong enough to accomplish goals that seemed to be undoable and almost there's no way in hell can I really do what I keep on saying I'm going to do. I'm a perfect example of if I can do it, anybody can. Because I get it. And when I look back, I look at all the role models that were in our lives. The biggest hero of them all is my mother. And I probably don't show it enough or allow myself to be available to her like that. And I'm trying to work on that now. After my accident, I've had a lot of thoughts through everything. And it's hard to keep your mouth shut sometimes because things do get irritating because you're just thinking. And a lot of it just has to do with everybody around you that you love and want to be of service to them before yourself. And I think we all have suffered through that have made something out of themselves, or deep down inside are some of the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life, are those who actually are the people pleasers that don't take care of themselves and their goals and their dreams as much, or first and foremost before they're there with others. And everyone I know that's in my circle are those people, from my wife to my mother. But now I'm learning how we all work together to better and continue to still be there for those around us or are coming into our lives out of the blue. You know, that might be a journey to take with as a positive thing, not a negative, unless we get rid of the circle that's toxic. So we're here with my mother. I'm not going to share how old she is unless she does it, but she's a very beautiful woman with the 6 kids. And she did have me at a young age. I believe she lied on the birth certificate.
Yeah.
And I was almost delivered in a taxi cab back in the days where she actually got removed out of the cab because her water broke.
Yeah.
And my dad was with her, which was probably...
Walked through the park to the hospital.
And this is in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
Take 9! We were in Kansas City, where I was born. I believe at a Jewish hospital even, right?
I think it was...
General or something?
No, I'm trying to remember
Mercy?
the hospital that you were born in.
I
know
birth certificate
Christina
somewhere.
was born, or Nadira was born at St. Mary's. And I think you were born at, gosh, I can't remember
I want to
the
say it
name.
was General or something.
It wasn't General.
Sure.
It was Memorial.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Dr. Mintzel was
I loved him.
He was cool. He was, he had red hair.
He was a
freckles.
hippie.
He was a hippie,
yep.
and I believe he was Jewish, right?
Yes, he was Jewish, yes. He was one of the best pediatricians there were.
He was pretty nice.
Yeah, he was.
He was,
He helped me all the way with Masali, and then we moved to Minnesota. Yeah, he's the one that talked me into breastfeeding.
That's
like,
an interesting story. Probably where my nights or her nights missing sleep time worrying about me was because I probably was not at all breastfed. A lot of my siblings were. And my brother Musali that she talks of is the oldest of the
The
of the brothers of the one after me as far as the boys go. But of my with my stepdad,
son,
he was the first son though of my stepdad who adopted me when I was like 8 years old.
Yep.
I will share some of that, but
I think you were younger than 8.
was it?
Yeah.
1977,
Yeah.
I believe.
Okay.
I got the papers actually in
yeah,
my
yeah.
office.
Okay.
Anyways, not to go too far with that because we were stuck on the Misali thing, but I remember 7th grade maybe. My mom would take us to like Godfather's Pizza with the team that I played with
football. Yeah.
And I was the captain of football pretty much my whole
really good
life.
football player. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. Mm-hmm. We'll stay on that subject. I was a captain of football. I ran the ball. I was always the smallest but the fastest.
And you got hurt. Oh my gosh.
She got mad at me one time when I broke my first bone playing football. I think it was my thumb. And I come running in, Mom, my thumb's broke. What? She was pretty upset. She was cooking dinner and had a house full of kids.
And I couldn't look at it.
Yeah, she couldn't look at it.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, she wasn't able to go to a lot of my games though, because she worked her butt off being a mother and take care of the kids. Now to go to the story of the Godfather's pizza with all my friends, my mom's a very beautiful woman. She'll share some of her life journeys, but she was always pretty and modeled and whatnot, and very successfully, pretty much, and. She would breastfeed my little brother, and my friends would talk a lot of crap about that later because they got to see Benny's mom breastfeeding.
But I had something over me to cover
it was
myself.
covered. Yeah. But when you're in 7th grade, and your buddies are looking at your mom when she's... Back then, they had no word for MILF.
I think breastfeeding, too, back then was
kinda,
more, like, oh, no, kind of shy. Yeah, a lot of people didn't do that out in the open,
I love she had small little boobies too. Back then,
Dr. Metzel is the one that talked me into doing it, and I was always so embarrassed. But then I covered myself, and I was pretty good with it.
Yeah, my mom was very respectful and very. She took a lot of pride in her being a woman with respect. She really did. As a matter of fact. We were talking about this morning. Okay, so it's so late or so early, because we've been up all night hanging out. I went and kidnapped my mom last night. Said, you're going to be the first person I'm showing with this piece of pride, blah, 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 blah. Picked her up. Tammy's sitting behind the cameras right now, and the mics and stuff. She got everything set up. We have another friend here. Her name's Shay. She's been helping out and stuff. So it's a small little group right now. And the kids are sleeping. We're at the studio, listening to tunes and playing, and just reminiscing about life. But they were talking about that. You guys were talking about something earlier. What were we just talking about just now? About girls would call the house.
Oh my gosh!
And ask for me.
Benny was a perfect little boy. Never no problems with him. Benny and Akram was my best boys. Wow. They never gave me really a problem like talking back. Well, Kaleem did too. Kaleem was more to himself, drawing and playing with, what were those little guys? Remember?
He was into like...
he never really talked
Hunger Ruse and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he ran around the house and was the clown kid of the family, and we used to
but they never
when we run around the house.
That was kind of
me and my buddies that I grew up with, like Eric and Tay and Kenny.
I never had problems with you until you went to Florida. Never talked back or anything. And these little girls, oh my God, they were just naughty girls. I used to get so mad. They called my house all the time, up to like 12 o'clock.
I don't remember.
I can't believe that.
I don't even know how they got the phone number back then.
God,
but she would call and say, "Don't call my son, you fast girls and would hang up.
Well,
I used to get so mad.
yeah, I really didn't say it like that.
Yeah, you
but-
did, Mom.
Oh well.
She softened up later on with my other siblings, man. I'm like, I couldn't have girls even close to my bedroom.
Wait a minute now. I think that you snuck out of the bedroom a couple times when we lived over in, was it Crystal?
I think it might have been Plymouth.
Maybe. Yeah, Plymouth.
That's when the one girl said she was
and
pregnant.
Martinez.
And I never, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Todd
yeah.
Martinez.
Yeah. Todd and his brother, Mark.
Yeah, Marcus.
Yeah, oh my gosh. You guys snuck out the window a couple times. Go to the girls' houses. Not good.
Well, we usually be
I
more.
go, wait
riding
until
our
one of these
BMXs.
angry dads come down.
They didn't have no daddies at home anymore.
Oh my God.
look,
I had
yeah.
such a hard time with you guys. You guys drove me crazy. Drove me to drinking, actually.
She'd have one.
Oh, my gosh. 151.
Boom. Yeah, you had the coolers.
Oh, yeah. I just, you know what?
I got your first bottle. Of
Oh, my
Bacardi,
God.
I
These
think.
guys.
Then I could have house parties because
Oh, my
we
gosh.
manipulated my mother. That's terrible, Mom.
Yeah, those were some bad days.
Those
for
are
me.
later on.
Those are
stories.
dark days, I say. I used to go in my room and just cry because I wanted to have kids. None of them was a mistake. I wanted them. And I'd go in there and cry and ask God, why? I wanted them, you know? And I said, if I could just die and come back and be a man, I'd put my foot up their butts.
That's messed up.
It
Why would a
is.
man
I
do
was so angry because you guys wouldn't listen to
that?
me.
What did I do?
You guys just ran over me, did what you wanted. All your friends were in the house, and this is after you came back from Florida. It was just terrible. Running around doing things. Oh my gosh. It wasn't just, it was you, and then it's like Masali had to follow your routine.
Well, I kind of.
And then
I was the
Colleen.
oldest, you know, so I
Yeah.
always thought it was cool when they showed up in a crotch rocket or a Honda Prelude or something. And we'd pick them up and take them to the mall real quick or get some ice cream and think I was a big shot.
You were perfect. You were really a good son. You did everything the right way until I let you go to Florida. And then you just came back and everything just went downhill.
Whatever.
Yeah, but now you're a good man. I'm proud of the way you grew up to
Thanks,
be a good father and a good husband. And, you know, I'm really proud of you. You know, I knew you would. It just took some time. I guess you had to go through your...
Well, they always say
Challenges.
that boys or men mature slower than women.
Yeah.
That's why mostly when you get older, I guess, the women go after the older guys.
men. Yeah,
And the older guys are dating the
young girls.
co-eds, I guess. Not me, except for she is
Well, they say
very
now...
beautiful.
They say now that women outlive men 10 years.
Well, I think it's because you guys put so much stress on us
Oh, come on.
that we worry about everything, even though you guys don't think
I
you're doing
think
it.
we worry about
We try to
that.
provide the best way we can.
And you know, us women do a lot. We play a pretty big role.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, my
definitely.
gosh, we clean the house, we take care of the kids, we do the cooking, we do the laundry,
My
grocery
mom
shopping,
was
everything.
man. I get my OCD from my mother because she had us doing chores for sure. And the girls usually got a different chore, or the boys or whatever. But then we're like, wait, they can do the dishes and they can help cook and they can do some of the laundry. They don't have to go just mow the yard and blah blah blah. So she was a really fair parent, to be honest with you. I don't ever remember you showing favoritism on punishments or anything.
I don't know. The girls always tell me that I was too easy on the boys and that I was harder on them. That's what I hear.
See, but I think a lot of...
But I don't think so.
I think women are usually accustomed to the opposite. Like, my grandmother's always fair towards the men, or the boys, over the girls.
Yeah, well, I think that's because she lost my little brother and she, favored the boys more.
Me and my wife, me and Tammy were talking about my grandma yesterday.
Mm.
We were talking about that, how she kind of probably gave up on the way she did live her life when she lost her son, her only son.
She did.
Which she would always look up at the stars and say,
The-
Uncle Michael is looking at you.
The brightest star is Mikey.
Every night.
Yeah.
Every night that my grandmother loved people
Mm-hmm.
and was a very spoken person.
Very. If
I
she
miss her.
didn't like you, you would know it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And she used to, I grew up with my grandmother taking care of me for a while because my mom was young. And so my grandmother raised up me and my sister for the most part. And we would sit at the VFW with my grandma on the bar stool in Kansas City, Missouri. And the taste of beer or Bacardi's might have been offered as a younger.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I
never
knew
liked
that.
alcohol at all, though.
Oh.
It took me a long time before I actually became accustomed to the flavor, I guess. But it was more of a, I'm going to have some fun. That's where I gave you a rest a little bit there, where you didn't have to worry so much. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so my mother, on a big scale, was a very good mother. She had no problem raising her voice either. And at dawn, or when it started to get night out, my friends would come running into another friend's house and say, "Dude, your mom's been outside yelling your name for like an hour." I'm like, "What?" And I would look and I'd see what time it was, because we were playing Monopoly or spin the bottle, whatever it was in our neighborhood, because we were pretty close in the neighborhood. My mom always said, "You can only be in this yard when it's dark, when it's time to go to bed, because boys get in trouble after dark."
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I would forget to be in the yard and tell Mom, I'm like, "Yeah, everybody else, come over and hang out in the yard." She'd be like, "Betty!"
Mm-hmm.
I'd be in so much trouble, and your voice would be gone.
So loud.
It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of upbringing I had. I had to do those things, and when I got in trouble, the punishments were you're grounded, or I couldn't go roller skating. And she was really strong on that stuff, and it showed. And if she couldn't spank me quick enough, trust me, I was dodging the heels, or the what do you call them back in the days?
Oh, the flip-flops?
Not flip-flops. The high heels of like big, huge, like back in
Oh,
the 70s.
platforms.
Platforms. She'd be taking the broom, cleaning the house, and we'd have tunes playing through the house. My mom loves music, and so we'd have like Casey and the Sunshine Band, and Let's Do the Walk.
Oh no, no, we used to do the bump.
The
remember?
bump, and we'd have to hit the furniture.
Or we just bumped up against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I made her mad, or if she found something that we hid that was broken and she was cleaning, and there it is. "Oh my goodness." And she's like, "Oh, I can't believe it." And I talked back for a second. And we it would hit something. She never tried to hurt us, though. So in this year and age of life, those type of lessons were not to hurt anybody or have a welt the size of a
it's considered child abuse now.
What's your baby? I said I wasn't going to put any of my siblings under the bus, but I know the baby of the family used to be, "I'm going to call the police, you."
Which one's that, Sakia?
Because you're grounded, young lady.
Yeah.
Because she was the baby of the family.
Yeah.
She is the baby of the family that we would tell all of our crap to, and think she wouldn't tell everybody in the family what we told her. And we still to this day, we tell her whatever, and she'd be like, "Guess what Betty did?"
Not anymore. She doesn't do that anymore. No.
If you're watching,
She just
can.
wants to live a private life now. No.
Okay, Shaniqua. Don't
It's
stretch it.
So funny.
Pat it.
Pat it.
So, anyways, I'm going to tell you a little story about my mom. She also kind of just left life where she was born and raised. And she had a sister that passed away a few years ago, my Aunt Susie, who we love and miss every day. And she was the mom I had that would let me and my siblings bounce all over the house and do whatever we wanted. Because my mom had a rule. Don't break it, don't touch it, comb your hair, and you're not going outside in them clothes. Go put on the clothes you go play with. And Susie, nah. She pretty much did everything and was an amazing person. She had her downfalls with some of that type of parenting, because I got cousins that are kind of crazy too. But and all in all, it was about family. As a family, we loved each other. And one of the rules in the family was never steal from one another. Your ass is grass.
Mm-hmm.
You might do a lot of things.
Or snitch on each other.
Or snitch on each other or whatever. There's a lot of rules like that. And my grandma and my aunt allowed, they'd rather have the family there and the kids or whatever doing mischief stuff than out on the streets running around and getting in trouble. But my mom left that life because she grew up as a hippie young lady in those times. I mean, I'm talking the band Kansas would be rehearsing, playing.
Yeah.
She
there were some dark sides,
yeah.
I think, in Kansas City for me. And I just wanted to have a different lifestyle for my children. So we moved to Minnesota and things just changed, you know.
And it's funny though, her and my aunt would get together every summer or whatever, and I would instigate
Oh my gosh.
a fight after a couple of cocktails.
You and your sister.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But my Aunt Susie would always say, Roseanne, you're always gonna be Roseanne. You from Kansas City, Missouri. You ain't Supriya. You ain't from. You could be all boop 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 boop, but you still from the hood.
And I never forgot where I came from.
I know you didn't.
Never.
You just
know,
had the
it's
walk
just
and
that
the talk.
No, I just wanted to be a different person. I didn't want to live that lifestyle.
Yep.
And I chose to live the lifestyle
You
that I
did.
wanted to do. So then when I changed my name, that made me forget who that little girl was. But I didn't forget. I'll always know who she was.
So to people that are listening, because I do this positive thing for the show for people, because that's an important piece right there. That you never forgot who you were.
Never.
And you don't forget where you come from when you're Jeannie or Benny from the block, right? You got to remember, because we can get lost in the material things and holy moly, here I am. But if you have your circle of people that'll hold you accountable, no matter what, because they accept you for who you are at the moment of whatever. And we all have our demons. And we
try not to judge people either, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's how we live our life accordingly, and with the right people, because that's family, whether you're blood or not. And that goes a long ways. And that keeps me, I think, where I'm at today.
Grounded.
I get mad and upset because I still think I get judged by even my loved ones of things. But in the long run, we're all just trying to figure a thing out once in a while and have to just kind of put the focus on somebody other than ourselves at that time. But my mom did move from Kansas City, Missouri, grew up in pretty much a Italian neighborhood and stuff, right?
Basically, kind of, we did when we were with my dad. Yeah. But yeah, we grew up, Sue and I had to take care of ourselves. And then we were kind of shifted between our families, you know, a lot. My mom had a really hard time taking care of us. She was a good mom. She just didn't know how to be a mom, I think, after my dad and her split up. But,
I never knew them to be married either.
She loved him, and then, I mean, she really loved him. But he cheated on her after my little brother passed away. But I think he went through a lot too. He started drinking a lot, and my great grandparents lived upstairs in their full-blooded Cherokee. And I think they were really upset with my dad for being out drinking when my little brother passed away. He didn't just pass away, but he had the flu and his brain cells burnt. And back then, it took the ambulance a long time to get to my mom's house, my dad's, and it was just crazy.
How old was Uncle Michael when he passed away?
He was about 6 months.
So that's
and
pretty hard.
They both of my parents kind of just ignored the fact that they had a son. My dad had, like, when he passed away, my grandmother gave me a box, a shoebox that my dad had. And it had my little brother's hairbrush and his little beanie cap and the shoebox with all the information of him passing away. So
I remember that. She showed that to me even growing up.
And then my mom never had a picture of my little brother out, or she would never go to the cemetery to see my brother until we got older, and we would have her go there. But she just never liked talking about it, you know. It just broke her heart.
She talked to us about it a lot, but her love for family
was strong.
Yeah.
And she wanted my sister and I to have a better life than what she did. And that's why she had us living with my grandmother and other, you know, relatives. And I couldn't understand that as a child because I loved my mom so much. I wanted to be with her. So I kept running away from home just to be with my mom. And I even got a job at 14, and I took care of her, you know.
You worked at Big Boys or something, right?
Wimpy's.
What's that?
It's a hamburger place. I don't even know if they still have Wimpy's in Kansas City. But, and I worked at Katz, and that used to be like a drugstore, like Walgreens and stuff, but they had like a fountain there where you get...
Drugstore cowboys.
Yeah. So, but a lot of things went on back then, and different than how
you
Minnesota
had a horse,
people
too, a pony.
My mom had a horse, yeah. It was a swayback horse.
Because I remember.
We used to go to my aunt and uncle's farm, yeah. And on that farm, they had pigs and stuff and quicksand, and I got stuck in the quicksand when I was a little girl, and that was bad. But
and moccasins.
Oh,
your friend died.
Oh, yeah. Water moccasins, yeah. I went water skiing, and my dad was drunk because he ended up being an alcoholic after my little brother passed away. And he was circling me in the boat when I was out skiing, and he took me out in some real choppy water, and I had let go of the rope, and I was right by a lot of driftwood, and there was water moccasins all out there, and I got scared, and he just kept going around and around, and
was that in the Ozarks?
Getting me up.
Because we had a cabin growing up in the Ozarks that my grandpa was almost like a father figure to me for a big part of my upbringing before we left Missouri.
Yep.
Because my mom and dad had gotten a divorce. Right.
Right. Yeah, me and your dad. Well, I did not divorce your dad for a long time. I was hoping that he would change and we would be back together. But when
you were high school loves
sweethearts, when I first met your dad, I was just in love with him. Yeah. He had the prettiest eyes, and I don't know. And I talked him into going back to school. But and he went back to school, and he used to carry my books and stuff. He was so sweet. But he really wasn't the sweet guy that I thought he was going to be. But
I think he was.
He has problems too, so we all do.
I think we've all worked through them, though, as parents.
Yeah.
One thing about things like that is you guys still.
Well, we grew
try-
up,
Yeah.
and now we made men's. You know,
Yeah.
it's just we were young, and I wanted a family, and I don't think he was really ready for a family back then.
He
you know.
became.
But he's a changed person.
Yeah.
See, that's why I said people change.
Well, back then everybody
yeah.
did. They were free spirits basically, and he played pool and hitchhiked all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
And ran.
He was a strong spirit person. Yeah. And he went through a lot, you know. So.
Yep. Who he found out his dad wasn't his biological dad.
No,
He was
his
like 15 or
biological.
something.
Yes, he didn't. Well, he kind of knew, you know, and
Because he looked different than his
then
siblings.
yes, his mother got pregnant by a Spanish guy and had your dad, and his name was Benny Garcia, and that's why your dad ended up with the name Benny instead of Benjamin or Benny. It was Bennie, and she always made a big deal out of that because that's the way that the man that she was in love with, how he spelt his name. And then she named Benny, your dad, Wayne, after his stepfather, you know, but in McWilliams. But your last name, biological last name, should have been Garcia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
I'm gonna go run with the Bulls next year.
yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
Spain, I wanna know it. But my grandmother never.
She lived with that until the day she died. She talked to me about it a lot. She really loved him, and
He was a bigamist.
he
right?
had a few wives, I guess. You know, and she had some stories to tell me, but she never talked to Benny about it. But I think Benny really
strong. I come from a family
Yeah.
of strong people, especially the women.
Benny had a hard time struggling with that.
Yes.
He really did. It took him a long time to come to terms about all that. And I think that's where his anger issues came out, you know, back then.
But he is very strong about family too, because
He
family
is. I think
means something.
we probably maybe would have made it if, you know, we weren't so young and stuff. But I wanted to stay married to him because I believed in once you get married, that's it, you know. And I had strong morals that I felt like I made a vow in front of God because God's always been there for me and my
what
sister.
happened from all that? Like, okay,
I
so
met
let's back
Nate.
it up because we're on for about an hour.
Okay.
Whatever, and I got to check on our time.
Okay.
So I want to get to some real good stuff on. That was your past.
The past.
A lot of struggles as a young person, a young girl developed into a woman after having 2 kids. My sister, we're like a year and a half apart.
Yeah.
All my siblings were all like a year and a half, 2 years apart from each other. We're very, very close family, and will always be, with our ups and downs. But my mom always taught us that, even when we were fighting with each other. But my mom also knew she had bigger dreams, and you probably used a lot of your prettiness or your beautiful, because I look at the pictures of you when you're like roller skating, because you used to.
I was a figure skater.
Yep. Figure skater, and you were just beautiful, and you went into modeling for a while.
Yep, I worked for California Talents.
Yeah.
And that was in Missouri. I had my own private photographer, and he was very good in what he did. And then I didn't pursue that all the way because I met Nate.
Which is my stepfather.
Yeah, and then he just kind of changed my life around where I felt safe with him. I didn't feel like, you know, abused or anything like that. He was a very good person, and
he was older than you too. Huh?
yes, he was. He was 25 years older than me, and I wanted to have children, and I thought he would be good to have children by, and so that's what made me get a divorce, because it was 8 years, and Benny and I was not going to get back together, and I wanted to have a baby, you know. So
So this story is where it gets really good. I've taken some notes before this, so I'm not gonna go all crazy with the case. But I'm not trying to get grounded by my mom.
well, my life changed basically after I met Nate, and
You got
he
to
was
live.
like, he gave me a different lifestyle that I wanted.
Damn, did you know that about Dad? When you met him, did you know that this guy
No, I didn't
was
know.
like
No,
the guy
nope,
that was very known?
no, I didn't.
And not just known.
I
I'm
did not
talking
know.
known.
I didn't know anything about that until, oh gosh, after I met him. Came to me, and I thought, oh my God, I didn't know anything about Muslims or black
Yeah.
Muslims or
Well,
anything.
here's the thing too. To
And-
back up there, my mom was dating my stepdad. At the time, he was just a acquaintance that she had some kind of feeling for, because he's obviously was older. I don't think he was like a sugar daddy or anything.
No,
to
he
you.
pursued me.
He loved women.
Yeah, he pursued me.
All the way to
and
the day he passed away. He always had he just did.
he did.
Very, very clean, very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And he was an African American. And back then, that word wasn't even used. It was just a black man, or maybe even worser names than that. But
he was a very
man.
caring, loving person, and
came from a big family.
he told me his lifestyle and stuff, and I thought, oh my gosh, someone came to me and told me, and I thought, no way, that they call us blue-eyed devils. There's just no way. And then when I brought it up to him, he
Now we're
broke
talking
down
because of
different things to me.
because he was in Islam, but it was almost like a different type
It was
of Muslim or Islam from what I guess what we would look at today.
because what it was a movement to make blacks love themselves, because black people have been talked down to never, they don't get good jobs.
What part of yours was this?
This was in the 60s and the 70s and stuff.
How old were you?
I met Nate, was it in the early 70s? I must have been about, gosh, 21 maybe.
Is that the first black man you ever dated?
Yes, he was. And he kind of swept me off my feet.
It's crazy.
He took really good care of me, and with me being abused and being afraid of basically men back then, I
This is
wasn't
a man that
gay
would
or
give
anything.
his last dollar out of his.
Yeah, he was just, he treated me like a queen, and he gave me what I wanted. He was very polite. It took a while. It took us a while to even be together because I was afraid.
And he had another life.
He did.
Because now the fears, was that because all of a sudden this is the first time you've been exposed to anybody at a level of life that man lived and grew up through? Because his father, because he's got a huge family, his dad was somebody that's in history.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that know me and know my family know that we have been brought up and grew up in a make-believe tale of some really amazing things, but also a very private upbringing. We didn't just get to have people at the house.
A lot of people wouldn't understand, and a lot of people would shame you, like, oh my gosh, just like with me in the working field after I graduated from college and worked as a designer. I got shamed on because I had biracial children and because of my name.
And we lived in a neighborhood with all the North Stars that played hockey for the North Stars Minnesota hockey teams in our neighborhood, and football coaches like Bud Grant.
Yeah.
And one of his sons played with one of my brothers in football,
Right.
and God, we had all the North Stars on the block. And Paul Newman had a house.
And I had
that
a
he
real
would,
bad
stay.
accent back then, and they used to love to listen to me talk. Now I don't sound like I used to, but when I first moved here, I had a southern drawl.
Very southern. Because Kansas City, you wouldn't think so southern, but you still have that,
Just certain
whoosh,
things. Well,
whoosh, whoosh,
yeah.
whoosh, not wash.
It's wash.
And we've always said soda.
But you know what? There is Minnesota people that I met. This is wash too. So I think, it's further north maybe. I don't know. But I've heard them say, oh, my mom, or my grandmother says that, so.
Now, let's go backwards a little, because I love this woman. This show could really, there'll probably be more episodes definitely with you on, because my mom has such a story. I mean, my mom made history herself, because her and my stepdad really did spend their lives together for many, many years. And he adopted me legally and my sister at a very young age. And he had, I believe, 19 children, not including me and my sister. But I will tell you that he treated me and my sister
like his real children.
And I don't want to say better than some of his own children, but me and my sister got looked at a lot by some siblings or step family, because their life did change also, because he was married 3 times that I know of.
When he
Well, first wife
he got a divorce from her, and then he married Haria.
My stepmom, but we all lived in the house together.
It's crazy. A lot of people don't understand the lifestyle that we led, but we did. And I believe in karma. And I said, when I first told him, and he had explained to me about us and polygamy, because I was in a polygamous relationship.
Why? Okay.
I just said, you know what? I believe in karma. If it doesn't work, I could never do that. I don't, and I don't share this with people. So now it's out, but I don't tell coworkers or anybody about this, because
my mom's a very private person.
A lot of people don't understand, but I love Nate, and that's their stepdad. I was really in love with him. He treated me very good, and I wanted to have children by him, and I did. And he was a good man.
Beautiful children. My siblings are.
It just got to be bad toward the end of him passing, but I was always with him, no matter what. I was with him till the day he died, and I would always be there.
How many years has that been?
Oh gosh, well, we were together for 17 years, like married, and then we separated. So I've been with Nate. Oh goodness.
No, but when did he pass away?
He just passed
Is that
away
3
about.
years ago?
No, I think it's.
2?
Has it been 3 years? 4 years, maybe?
I don't know. Tammy would know, but
I can't remember. I always block things out like
I
that.
have a hard time with death. I know we're all born to die. But here's the thing, especially with my dad.
I know we're just kind of jumping around to different things.
And this is okay, because this is the first show with having someone on here, and this is amazing, because the show is gonna stay real, and I'm never gonna put things out there that I have people on here without them being okay with it. And if they do want to share, they will. And when they want to stop it, they will stop it. So anybody out there that wants to come on the show, or that I will have on, so I got a list of people that are coming on the show, it's going to be based around life and how we get through our journeys to become better of ourselves. And all of us have goals and dreams. It doesn't stop if you don't fulfill them, you'll always have something in your head that I could have been a contender or something, you know. My mom, it took you a long time to get to where she was independent on her own because my dad took care of her. When I say my dad, my stepdad, Nathaniel Musali Muhammad, who was amazing. And me and Tammy took care of him as a family right before he was getting ready to pass away because we were the ones to discover that he had
Alzheimer's
and dementia early stages. We had to trick him to go see a doctor. And everyone in the family, for the most part, had him live with them at one time or another. So it was kind of our turn.
We didn't want him to go to a nursing home.
No. And we got caught with him, or we had him at a time that, boom, it happened. And it was unbelievable to see a man who was so
strong,
independent, tell you that he didn't have the fire going on the oven because we'd get home from work and the cabinets would be almost on fire, and we're like, what are you doing? You're burning up the house. I didn't cook any food. I don't know what you're talking about. And that was unbelievable to go through as a younger person dealing with your dad living in a house like that.
Yeah,
and
that's very sad.
It was. He eventually ended up being in a place, and it was really hard to go see him before he passed away.
Yeah.
Because Tammy even said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go in there, you're going to lay down next to him, and you're going to watch a ton of YouTube videos of his family and his upbringing and his life. Because his family, including himself, made history. They're in books. And I watched him with his eyes open up, looking at Martin Luther King, looking at Malcolm X, and looking at Muhammad Ali, and looking at his dad, and his siblings and mom. And I learned even more. Then I had to leave a couple of days before he passed away. I was in Washington, D.C., and I got the phone call while I was in a senator's office in Washington, D.C., Amy Klobuchar, actually, and I had to excuse myself politely, and everyone was respectful, and I called for a ride, and the hotel had my stuff ready for me to go to the airport, and then I got stuck at the airport for 4 hours, and that was a hard thing, because I had to sit there in Chicago, actually, in a layover, where he pretty much was brought up.
Right.
And, he gave you another life, but it was a part of it that made you become who you are today. And you don't talk a lot about that, and I think you should sometimes, because it ain't a bad thing. Yes, it's private, but there's so much history behind it that is so astounding and life-changing for people that want to learn about history instead of changing it. And my life coach even shared something with me when I shared the story to him, is when he said, brother, you need to become a life coach and a motivated speaker. And I thought he was crazy, but he was so blown away by something that normally people that would say anything about like that at my appearance or anything would get me in a lot of trouble. Because growing up, we even had bodyguards around us going to school, even, and limos and the whole 9 yards. And my dad was the son of the founder of the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who helped Malcolm X out. Who helped Malcolm X become the man he was, and gave Muhammad Ali his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And I got to grow up with
wrong.
Muhammad Ali in our life.
Yeah.
He was a mentor to me at a very, very young age. Where I get living the dream came from that man.
Mm.
And I forgot all about who I learned that from until it hit me.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. That's why I post that a lot of times. And that's my upbringing. And someday I'll share that on the show because it is about my mom and her life. She's been a very strong woman who's been through hell and back and has a story to tell. And I'm really privileged, and I love you, Mom.
I love you too.
And you put up with a lot of struggles from your kids. And being the oldest, I remember that day calling you and telling you I'm sorry for having you lose nights of sleep, wondering if I was going to make it home or if you were going to go identify her son.
But this is what makes you stronger when you go through different things like that. Like, I think there's a journey that we all have to go down, and that journey is going to make you stronger or weaker. And you learn off of it. If you can't learn off the things that you've been through, it's almost like, why are you here? I mean, we have choices in this world, and you either learn it, and it's so funny because my mom always said, you learn something every day, and it's so true. Every day of my life, I learned something. And it's so funny because I start laughing at myself going, at this age, I'm still learning, and I'm so grateful. I am really blessed because I'll look back, and you're not supposed to look back at the past, but I'll look back and I look at me now, and I just thank God every day. Like, someone will ask me how old I am or something. If I tell them, they can't believe it. And I go,
used to have to
true.
go out with my mom, and people would think we were dating, so I couldn't even ask somebody for a dance on the floor of a bar or something back in them days because they'd be like, that's disrespectful. You're with your girlfriend right now. I can dance. That's my mother.
I'm just blessed. God has been really good to me. All of my children, they did put me through a lot, but you know what? My sons, all four of them, grew up to be nice, respectful men. And both my daughters, I'm proud of them. I mean, I may go through a few things with my oldest daughter right now, but it's nothing.
You guys are
and we're close. We're very close. We're like sisters. And but I am really blessed. I got beautiful grandchildren, beautiful children. I'm blessed with beautiful daughter-in-laws that I love, and you don't really have that a lot. And my son-in-law, he's been there for me a lot. Todd, he's my son-in-law, and he's been a blessing because he treats my daughter very good.
And they got four boys?
4 beautiful boys that are all into sports and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the family, for sure.
Now I'm a great-grandma. 3 times.
I know. My mom's amazing. She even raised one for a little bit. I can't believe my little nephew was
4 years,
It's unbelievable.
It was a blessing. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know. It's just unbelievable.
Made me young again.
And she got to spoil again.
Yeah.
I love you, Mom, and
I love you too.
I know this could have went on for a lot longer on a lot of stuff, but I want you to know that we've learned a lot from your journey and what you've taught us, whether we were paying attention or not, or whether it was because I was in another state and came home a changed young man.
You were meant to be.
The journey has been a journey, and I've lived off of growing to where I am today. When I say if I can do it, anybody can. to getting to where I'm at and going even further someday because I have a story that came from this woman. And I think that's what's got me where I'm at. Because of you
Oh, yeah.
and my dad
Yeah.
and my stepdad and everybody that.
Benny, you were always great. I mean, remember you was the president of the elementary school?
Yep.
You always had something in you, and I knew that one day you're going to accomplish something.
You
And
did
even
say that.
Kaleem, I felt with Kaleem too. You know, he's very special.
Yep.
The both of you, you
And
know.
that's why I'm doing a show like this. And I mean, Facebook has rated us 12 in the USA for for being a motivated speaker, life coach. I mean, I just found out about that. You know, and
That's good.
yeah, it's unbelievable. If there's something you can tell anybody listening right now,
Mm-hmm.
how you did something to get where you're at, because she's an amazing interior designer, you guys. I mean, I'm serious. She's naturally gifted with dressing, with opening up a place and spending other people's money.
Oh, yeah.
But she's seen the world and made peace and blessings be with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a lot to do with the woman that she is today. And his dad gave blessings to this woman who was pregnant with my brother Musali at the time.
Mm-hmm.
History was made in the Nation of Islam as the first European woman to be accepted and a legitimate child born into the family of the Muhammad family. And that's pretty amazing. And you've seen a lot of people and met a lot of people, and there's things that my mom will never probably even share to her kids because it's something sacred to her. Not bad, sacred. And if there's something you could tell anybody out there that's listening because they have struggles in life to get somewhere in their life, that's going to make them, it doesn't have to be owning your own business. It's getting somewhere and accomplishing, living that dream.
Well, what it is you have to truly put your faith in God. Allah is an Arabic word, but it means God. There's only one God, and we all believe in the same God. And what I'm saying to you is that you have to put your trust in the man above. And that is so true. I used to doubt it, but I would go through things in my life and I couldn't understand things. And sure enough, I would understand it later on, why I went through that. My children are all alive. They're not dead. And I used to have nightmares about this one all the time. And God showed me. So you just have to don't be fake. Put your trust in God. And it's all going to work out, even if you don't understand. So that's...
And that had to be scary coming in the hospital after my motorcycle accident.
Yes, it was. I couldn't even, they wouldn't even let me go see him. And I had a 4-year-old that I was taking care of still at the house, and I couldn't leave. So Tammy, his wife, and my oldest daughter drove down to Iowa. Yeah. It was scary. And then I didn't know how you were going to be after that, Benny. And then when they told us that you had brain damage, that scared me. But you've done so good. Your speech is so much better than what it was. And that's God. God's looking over you.
Thanks, Mom.
And I knew it. I even told Tammy, I kept saying, he's going to be okay. I just know that God's got this.
I remember sleeping in the same hospital bed when you did show up out there, and it felt good.
Yeah.
Because my mom said, none of my kids are going to outlive me. Or,
No.
she's not going to outlive them.
Yeah, I don't want to bury one of my children. No.
You know. and I've lost my best friend, and his mom has a big broken heart.
It's so
he was a good
hard.
man, so I know that I never wanted to do that.
It's really hard for people to trust God and to put your faith in Him. And I couldn't, my mom lost her son, and she kept telling me there's a reason why, and I couldn't understand it. And she always said, it's something that you won't know. You have to trust Him, and that's what I always do. I just put my faith at night when I go to bed. I always ask God to watch over my children. Yes, I have.
What are you doing today with your life? Like, what is your goals right now that someone might listen to and be, man, that's awesome?
I am letting go right now. I am letting go of me over being a parent, I guess. Or, I'm going to start living my life for me now. My clock is ticking, and I want to be around positive, good people. I surround myself around that. I don't make myself better than anybody, but I choose to live a different lifestyle. And I'm going to start doing that. I want to be in the sun. My skin needs it.
You're getting ready to move from Minnesota to Arizona.
Just for the winter.
And that was the first place you took us to visit.
Isn't that amazing?
As a child on an airplane for the first time.
I fell in love with Arizona.
Yeah. I love you, Mom.
Well, I love you too.
And I want you to say something special before we end the show. Just something.
I think the special thing is just to believe in the man above. That's and I keep saying that over and over, and that's the truth. That's what's gotten me where I'm at today.
Because we can get lost and not have a way back if we don't have something to look.
Well, you have to not look backwards either. I mean, I'll look back at the past, but I don't sit there and keep looking at it because I know what my future is. I want to be at peace. I want to be surrounded with good people. I want to have love in my life. And joy. I want to be healthy. I want to do the things that
you are, Mom.
Yeah.
You look great. And I love you, and you're still doing your thing.
Yeah.
And you got a lot more of your journey.
I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm just keep moving forward, and I keep on trucking. Your dad had that card in his wallet. Yeah, keep on trucking, and that's it.
Yeah.
You just look forward and do the best you can in everything that you do.
That's a wrap. Because that's something to really take time to listen and love. So we're in with that. I want to say, Mom, I love you with all my heart. I'll try my hardest to continue to be a better son, and a better father and husband and sibling to everybody, because it is about turning it over. So when I go through my struggles with recovering from an accident as bad as that was, to still continuing to be an entrepreneur and a self-made person with people in his circle that are also growing and becoming better at what they do. Because it doesn't stop here for me. The speech is going to get better. The playing the guitars will get better.
Yeah, Benny, you sound so good right now compared to what you
Mom.
did when you first came home.
I know.
It was, and I even listened to you on that one.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
I
amazing.
can't believe I talked like that.
Yeah, and when you talked, your hands would just go everywhere.
I know.
But, and it was so frustrating for you. You couldn't even, it was almost like you were like, I don't like hearing myself like this. You were fighting with it.
I didn't give up on the guy above.
You can't. You never can.
So she practices what she preaches, and it does touch other people.
And
Thanks for
Tammy,
letting me
you
say.
have a very good wife. I mean, she's
Where is she? No, just kidding.
no, she's
And
been
she
there
is.
for you.
She,
And your
yeah,
sister,
I know.
your
All of
my
siblings.
oldest daughter, yeah. I mean, well, yeah, they all were so worried about you. I mean, Kaleem thought he was,
Yeah.
you know, if something happened to you, he was crying and everything. It's just amazing how much love they have for you. Yeah.
So I want to say thanks to everybody in the family and everybody that's watching. Thank you. I know we probably went a little longer than we were supposed to, but that's okay. We're going to be back. She'll be back again. It'll be a surprise then, like it was tonight. And thanks for coming.
Yeah, I
all
was
the
in
way
my
out.
pajamas tonight.
And we've been partying a little bit.
Yeah.
We had some
A little
wine,
bit of wine. Yep,
Yeah.
we had some wine.
and music, and
Mhm.
no one got in trouble
No,
yet.
no.
But I want to say, it's been real. Stay true to yourself. Don't give up. And you know where to find us.
For sure,
if you
don't
need
give
any
up.
experience that I've had, I'll give back. You know, and I learned it all from her.
Thanks.
And it doesn't matter your age, your height, your skin color, your
True.
religion, your sexual preference.
Hmm.
It's who you are as a person, and we're not the judge of anybody
That's right.
except for myself.
Yeah.
And
Nobody has walked in your shoes.
yeah,
That's how I look at it.
yeah. So
You know, so
I come from a family. Even the Muhammad family, the founder of the Nation of Islam, didn't judge this woman right here that was giving him another grandchild. So, with that, I'm ending again. And bless and pieces to everyone out there. And Mom, I love you, and God's with you each and every day.
yes, he is.
And I have more respect for you even now from this show than I ever have even before.
Amazing. Thank you.
So I love you.
I
And
love
I
you
mean
too.
that from the bottom of my heart.
I know you do, Benny.
No BS there. So thanks for being
Oh,
that
you're
person.
welcome.
Go make me some
My
food.
pleasure.
I love you. This is Benny with Bennie Unfiltered Late Night.
Yes.
Be good.
Kept me up
Stay
all
true. Don't get in trouble. And we'll see you on the next one.
night.
We got some more episodes coming up with more people that are going to blow you away.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
salute. Keep living your dream.
My
We're
Pepsi.
out of here. Don't forget where you come from.
That's
And
right.
always stay true. It's Benny with Unfiltered. We love you.
Bye.
Love you, Mom.
Love you too.